What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today we have breaking developments that are so fresh, so loaded with detail, and so genuinely unexpected that I had to get this video out to you immediately because the Patriots trade alert that just surfaced involves a player that most people never saw coming, and it completely changes the dynamic of everything happening in New England right now. We are talking about a star on the current roster being linked to a surprise departure, what it means for Drake May, and how it connects directly to the most anticipated trade in the entire 2026 NFL offseason. Every piece of this puzzle matters, so let us get straight into it. Let us start with the bombshell that dropped literally just hours ago, because this one came completely out of left field and has Patriots Nation buzzing harder than anything we have seen this week. Wide receiver Keyshawn bought a player who just last season was one of Drake May's most reliable targets and developed genuine chemistry with the young quarterback over the course of the 2025 NFL season is now being actively linked to a trade. And the shocking part is not just that his name is out there. It is the reason behind it and the person delivering the news. Mike Reyes, one of the most credible and well-sourced Patriots reporters working today, appeared on 98.5, the sports hub in Boston on Wednesday, and addressed the elephant in the room directly. The insinuation that has been circulating throughout Boston media circles all week that Budda is absent from the team's voluntary off-season workouts because he already knows he is being moved was put directly to Reyes, and his response made it clear this is not just fan gossip. This is a real and active situation. The working theory that reporters are running with right now is that with A.J. Brown's arrival essentially confirmed for after June 1st, there is a redundancy at the wide receiver position that the front office is looking to resolve, and Bowdit is the most likely player to be on the move as part of that resolution. Now think about what Bout actually represents as a trade asset and why this makes so much football sense. Bate is a young, affordable receiver on the final year of his rookie contract, meaning any team that acquires him gets a cheap, controllable player with legitimate upside for the 2026 season and potential long-term value. During the 2025 season, he hauled in receptions as a consistent deep ball threat for May, showing the kind of explosive playmaking ability that translates across offensive systems. He has proven NFL production. He has youth on his side. And there is a very real possibility that Buddy gets included as a sweetener inside the A.J. Brown trade package itself, with the Patriots sending both a future first-round pick in Baudet to Philadelphia in exchange for the superstar receiver. That kind of creative structuring would reduce New England's net costs significantly, give the Eagles a young weapon to develop in their post-Brown era, and allow the Patriots to maintain more of their long-term draft capital while still landing one of the most physically dominant receivers in the sport. Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf are known for finding creative solutions in trade negotiations, and using Boutte as part of the compensation framework is exactly the kind of move you would expect from this front office. And speaking of the A.J. Brown situation, the latest reporting as of today, May 21, 2026, is as confident as it has ever been that this deal is going to happen. Even Kyle Williams, a second-year wide receiver on New England's own roster, was asked directly about Brown's potential arrival when he spoke with reporters at the Patriots Community Day event on Wednesday. Williams addressed the situation with remarkable poise and self-awareness, essentially acknowledging the reality of what is unfolding around this receiver room while staying focused on his own preparation. And veteran safety Kevin Byard, who played alongside Brown with the Tennessee Titans before the receiver was traded to Philadelphia, delivered what might be the single most compelling endorsement of this potential trade that any Patriots player has offered yet. Byard said without any hesitation that Brown was simply unstoppable during their time together in Tennessee. Those are not the carefully worded, media-trained comments of someone trying to avoid controversy. Those are the honest words of a professional athlete who watched A.J. Brown operate up close every single day and came away genuinely stunned by what he was capable of. When a safety who gets paid to stop wide receivers calls one of them unstoppable, that is the kind of endorsement that tells you everything about what this addition would mean for this offense. The financial mechanics of why this trade has not happened yet remain unchanged and are ticking down by the day. If Philadelphia trades Brown before June 1st, they absorb a brutal dead cap hit of $43.3 million all in 1 year. After June 1st, that number drops to 16.3 million, with the remainder split into 2027, a difference of over $27 million that makes waiting an absolute no-brainer for Howie Roseman and the Eagles front office. The Patriots are not pushing for an early deal. The Eagles have no incentive to rush. And with Patriots' organized team activities not even starting until May 27th, the timing of everything happening in Foxborough right now is perfectly structured around that June 1st window. The next 11 days are essentially a countdown clock to one of the most talked-about trade announcements the NFL has seen in years. Now, here is something that has gotten relatively little attention, but deserves a real spotlight, because it speaks to just how thoroughly Mike Vrabel and Elliott Wolf have prepared for every possible scenario in this offseason. New England still has legitimate cap room available to absorb Brown's $29 million salary for 2026 without making dramatic cuts elsewhere on the roster. Romeo Doubs was signed in free agency at 4 years to provide depth and competition regardless of who the number one receiver turns out to be. Tight end Eli Raridon, selected in the third round of the 2026 NFL Draft, gives Josh McDaniels a genuine three-down weapon in the middle of the field. Fullback Reggie Gilliam was brought back on a multi-year deal to provide the kind of physical presence in the run game that opens up play-action opportunities for May. And the offensive line is being built into one of the most athletically gifted units in the AFC, with Caleb Lomu joining Will Campbell and Jared Wilson as elite athletes across the front five. The foundation around Drake May is already strong. A Jay Brown on the outside makes it genuinely dangerous, and the Botti trade creates the roster flexibility to make all of it work within the salary cap structure. Beyond the trade situation, there is a storyline developing around this Patriots roster that is worth tracking closely as OTAs approach. NBC Sports Boston's mailbag this week was dominated by fan questions about whether New England actually needs a Jay Brown at the reported cost of a future first-round pick, and the answer that reporters consistently kept coming back to is yes, because of what a true number one receiver does. For everyone else on that offense, beyond his own stat line, Romeo Doubs, who had 55 catches for 724 yards in his best Green Bay season, projects as a completely different player in a receiver room where opposing defensive coordinators cannot afford to ignore what is happening on the outside. The slot becomes easier. The tight end gets one-on-one opportunities. Drake May gets clean pocket reads because the defense cannot load the box. A legitimate number one receiver multiplies the effectiveness of everyone around him, and that ripple effect is exactly what this offense needs to take the next step. The bottom line today is crystal clear. Kayshon Boutte is being linked to a surprise trade that almost certainly connects directly to a Jay Brown's incoming arrival. Kevin Byard is calling Brown unstoppable from first-hand experience. Kyle Williams is already addressing it publicly with reporters. And June 1st is 11 days away. Everything is converging at exactly the same moment, and the Patriots are sitting right at the center of the most electric roster transformation story in the entire NFL right now. You need to be right here when this trade becomes official and when the Butts situation resolves itself, because the next 2 weeks are going to move fast and every development matters. Subscribe to this channel right now, hit that notification bell, and make sure you never miss a video, because I will have everything broken down the second it happens. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you comfortable with Boutte being traded as part of the A.J. Brown package, or do you want the Patriots to keep him alongside Brown in what would be an absolutely terrifying receiver room for opponent? Let me hear your take. Like this video, share it with your Patriots family everywhere, and I will see you in the very next one. Let's go New England!